Hi, my name is Winsley, and welcome to my video on the Xenoplague unit spawning and evolution mechanics. Today I'm joined by a guest, Satonir. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm good today. I'm ready to start with you. I think that we can discuss some Cineplay and maybe some people will like us.
Yeah, I think some people will get a lot out of this video. This mechanic is one of the ones that confused me a lot when I first played the game, and I wanted to explore, but I wasn't able to find a lot of good information online, and it's really hard to test this mechanic to figure out exactly what's going on behind the scenes. So I'm really glad that I've got you here with me. One of the big reasons I haven't been putting out videos is I've been looking for an expert guest, and you come highly recommended by Dread Reaper. For those who don't know, Dread Reaper runs a really awesome multiplayer server, which I think I might show off in this video at some point. I think we'll talk about infections and then show off what Satonir posted on Dread Reaper's Discord. It's a great place to go hang out and talk to people about the game. So I'll put a link in the video description. We'll look at it a little bit later. And what else was I gonna say here at the beginning? Yeah, so generally what we're going to do is we'll look at how the infection mechanic works and just how to get it to apply to units and spawn in units or evolve units. Then we'll go through Satinir's guide. After that, we'll go through my recommendations, and that will probably be the end of the video at that point. So you want to go into manual combat as much as possible to apply infections because the AI is notoriously bad at doing it. You can only apply infection on biological and cyborg units, right, Satnir?
Yes, it's pretty right, and there are hidden infection points that are the part of this mechanics. Just imagine that every unit you are hitting has some number of hidden points. I'm not sure about the total numbers, but I'd say that you should think around that. A tier 1 unit gives you 1 point. A tier 2 unit gives you 2 points for being slain while being infected.
Yeah.
Then you just think that when you get to 10 points, then you start to have a chance of gaining a pistol.
Right.
Uh,
I heard from Dread it's kind of random, right? It's not guaranteed that you'll get it on that 10th point, but you can get it on 10 points.
I'd say that maybe from the perspective that I used to notice, maybe you should be aiming on getting it on from 8 to about 12 points. So maybe in one battle, maybe in two battles, uh, you will get a pistol from the corpse, and the current number of these hidden points is cumulative, which means that even after winning a battle against a single biological unit, you can have your new Cineplay units if you have the points from the battles you had before.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Dread
when you
Reaper. I was just gonna say,
Mhm.
Dread Reaper mentioned that if you face things like the Syndicate Runner, which resurrect, you can get 2 points off of that one instead of the normal one, and I love that. Another thing he said was that they take on the movement of the unit that was infected. So if you attacked this unit and it gave it infection, if you gave this Blade Maw infection, it would be able to move 32 spaces, or it would have 32 movement points. And the next turn, it would go up to its normal 40. The pustules have 40 movement points.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, that's true. And when we speak about runners, if I'm not mistaken, they also give double XP
Yeah.
be- because of the buck with their second life. So, okay, now we are looking at a game that Winslayer made for us, made some preparations. This is basically turn 21 when for many and many combos you are going to have only one and a half or two clearance stacks. Here Winslayer, as you can see, has three clearance stacks. For Xenoplay, it's not the best result you can gain, but the result is very much dependent on your start, especially on your starting dwelling. As you can see, the starting dwelling of Winslayer here is the Forgotten guys, which give us pretty a little amount of Cena points. Uh, as for me, especially, I don't think I would just befriend them, but that's not a bad idea right here. I think that uh, deciding to befriend Forgotten was also not a bad. mm, let's say it was like a good second plan, just in case that the whole part of map be surrounded by Forgotten, and you'd better have some new maybe source of units instead of going Xenoplay without getting as many units as you want to get. Also, in this particular game, if I would play it, I would try to not go to the site of the catacomb, the site of the dwelling. I would, from Houdin, start scouting west and try to find some biological life. But of course, the games are different. There can be, for example, ocean. There can be maybe mountains and other absolutely uninteresting landscapes that you are not going to visit. And the way that was chosen here is not the way I can't not the way I can say that is somehow wrong. He has three clearance stacks on turn 21. Three clearance stacks, as I told, is a very good amount, but of course Xenoplague can have much more if it is much more lucky. The thing is, that Dread Reaper was mentioned. The last time I played with some guy, I had absolutely uh, unbelievable amount of units, of stacks, of clearing parties on laughable turns, I'd say. That's why we nerfed Xenoplay a bit. To be honest, I did not even play it to the nerf, so I can't say what its current state is. So, okay, I don't think. Is there a party? Is there any party with biological units we can watch a battle with?
This one is not a great one because it has one unit that we could infect. I think there was more on the other side, so I'll just auto this one. And we must have gotten some infection points there because it turned that pustule into a destroyer.
Mm-hmm.
And if I remember, yeah, there's a lot of guys over here which can actually get infected, so we could do a little manual combat. I know in play by email you can manual combat as much as possible. In my multiplayer games, we only let you manual combat once per 10 turns against the AI, and you can do it as much as you want against human players. So I think that has kind of led me to prefer slightly different strategies than you would have. But yeah, for this one, we might as well just go over the way you like to approach these manual combats.
Can you please show me the hero?
My hero's got a mount and that little melee thing that lets them infect. It's pretty good.
So this hero can infect because it has xenografted muscles. This mod is very good for every single time you play auto combat in while playing Xenoplay. If you don't yet have this mod, you should try to have the please pull on the weapon, on the first weapon.
Oh, I see.
Yes. You should have the first weapon, the first melee weapon, and try to use your hero as one of the infectors.
Yeah,
Uh,
my commander has the melee weapon that you start with. I think that was actually one of the things that was different in your recommendations versus mine. I think you actually said that you like the APC.
by the way, right, I do very much like the APC, and uh, APC is one of the maybe it's one of the best of the loadouts that are present in the game. Uh, Especially because it gives a very good buff, a very good healing, and uh, it is very tanky. On the first turns of the strategic map movement, your units, your first level units, tend to die very fast. That's why APC can save them
Yeah.
one after another. As for the picking weapon for play, I would say that when you are going to auto battles, by the way, you better use your Lord to give regen aura to your guys that don't have full HP. Better go closer to maybe this destroyer that stays right.
Mm-hmm.
I, I'd go here
Or
just
you
to
saying, oh, to regenerate like that, would you use a plague pod to heal at the beginning, or is that a waste of a plague pod?
um, maybe you should because this is a battle against neutrals.
Yeah.
And before the main engagement, you want to have as much health points as possible because they pretty much like to slay units one by one.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah. I get to
Um,
group up a little there.
as for the auto battles, I would say that I would tend to pick APC, but equip the melee Xenoplague infection weapon
Mm-hmm.
uh, for the first fights, just to get as many pistols as possible. In The thing is, in auto battles, melee units should be many.
Right.
If you don't have many melee units, they will just go first and die very fast. And as you have only one pistol and some random animal for Amazon, you are tending to just lose the pistol and just lose the tempo,
Mm-hmm.
which is not the thing we're going for.
I'm a pretty big fan of Parasitic Strike in well, just any combat when you're trying to be Xenoplay because it guarantees that parasitic infection, right? Or no, there's a strength chance, but if it's against one of the lower tiers, it's a guarantee, right?
Right, I'd say also in auto battles you tend to um, decline auto using of all other spells and only try to use parasitic strike because the computer tries to affect as many people, as many units as possible with it. As for drop spore port, the computer tends to just drop it on one person,
Mm-hmm.
and it does not do pretty much. Also, when being dropped, it does not infect. Um, it does not infect units when being dropped. Only after the that the bloated pistol makes.
So Parasitic Strike here, or what do you think? What would make sense?
I think that you have enough guys that can infect.
Okay.
Not that's not the state in which you tend to parasitic strikers as fast as possible. Also, you have a unit that can resurrect another unit, so you can um, play not very defensively. You can
Mm-hmm.
right now strike with all the guys you have, and only if you'll have some problems, you can save your operations just in case you need to kill some guy that is on a low HP or for other cases. Here you can go there, right, and pull a grenade right in front of you on the
Meh.
right. Good. It will heal you, it will damage them, it will stagger them. It's very cool.
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
triple stagger. I think I might want to do that. It's a good
So,
strategy, isn't it?
right, right. Those grenades do very well. You
What do we
can
think?
absolutely make these guys stay for the whole next turn if you use three grenades right here.
I think I will.
And, and without these guys, they just lost right here.
Yeah, that's just part of it. Sure, whatever. Do you have them too? No. This guy probably does. Yeah,
I
you've
think
got
snipe,
it. But I can't.
snipe
There they
guy
are.
with the stun. Maybe if you go one tile north, northwest. Maybe you can
Yeah.
try to stun the guy there. No?
How do I do it? Is it this one?
Yes, this one.
Yeah, it looks like no line of sight.
You can undo the action.
Um,
Try
is
somewhere
it a
else.
single?
Yes, this is a sniper strike. And it stuns, and it is very, very good.
Yeah, I think I will take a step
Maybe
over here and
attack
then
with attack someone.
I think I need to get really close for that apparently. Well, I think we've made the points we really wanted to, right? I might just have the AI do the rest of this fight really quickly so that we can talk about some other things, but just to show off things. Oh, this guy could have done a thing.
You can use pistol to jump on it.
Oh, right, yeah, I could run him forward.
Also, before doing that, you can use your bow guys, bow women, right? Bow women.
What do you
Uh,
do, blind or pod or something like
better,
that?
don't go there because pistol can. Right, right. We better go like that.
Yeah, that seems pretty solid. I may just kill a unit, but we'll see what this guy... You said he would jump on who?
Yeah, the jump does more damage. Also, if you make this guy move a bit closer to those guys, you can aim for better AoE attacks.
Oh, oh, you're right about that. All right, let's jump on him. I should have done that earlier, maybe. Got him closer to the spore pod.
Right.
At this point I'm just
You
like,
have a grenade. You can use it to
yeah,
damage
think
very
of
many
grenades.
guys.
I guess I'll grenade from here. Just to stagger these guys. Then you have this thing, which is a melee. I knew that. I totally played this before. I'm gonna take the bad shot. Hey, it critted. Cool.
think auto battle can do the rest.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was just thinking. Go ahead, kill them. Yeah, you staggered and healed. Alright, what were we going to talk about next? I think we may want to talk about the tech tree image that you put in Dread Reaper's Discord. Sounds good?
Yeah, right. I think you just show the level, the turn 30. We discuss a little the tech tree that you have there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go to my recommendations that I made before.
Cool. Yeah, I think the nice thing about looking at the tech tree on turn 20 for a second is that you can see what I went for first. And I think I did what you would recommend, which is go down Alpha Strain, Infection of Secret Tech stuff, Destroyer, and then Plague Lord. And then what you do after that is a little bit more up to you. Let's go see what I had on turn 30 really quickly.
Can I just say, I would say that the tech tree that you showed is good when you don't have biochemical weapon tree with your race. It means when you are going, when you are playing cyborgs, when you are playing other races. Of course, you are going after you finished with Playlords, you are going for dispersion and for further.
Mm-hmm.
If you have biochemical weapons tech tree, you should aim on that because it makes your play lords, absolutely unstoppable machines of destruction.
What's the
And
mod loadout that you like to use then with the biochemical? Is it
it's
vicious?
it pretty much depends. Of course, if I'm going against machines, I try to use ionic infusion as fast as possible. If I'm going against highly armored units, I use the first mortar, acidic composite. If I'm going against psionics, I'm going for the specialized strains for psionic strains. It very much depends on your opponent. I usually tend to play my game style is very dependent on my opponent, and I always try to do something, taking my opponent in consideration.
Mm-hmm.
The biochemical tech tree, the whole biochemical tech tree is very, very good for the lords that have pretty much damage. Uh, and I'd say that lords don't need defensive mods at all
Yeah, they're
because
pretty good.
they're beefy. They have 9 range attack, and they resurrect each other. That's why you can use them as glass cannons, resurrect, use making unbelievable amounts of damage, and this is not the unit that you are going to make more and more beefy. I'd say just shoot, destroy.
It makes sense. Yeah, totally. I like that plan. So
Mhm.
I was going through the secret tech more to try and get to what was it? Hyper accelerated evolution, where you can turn a pustule into a destroyer. I think that's really good for the settings I like to play on, where I don't manual all my combats, and um, I might not be able be getting all of the points that I possibly would need to evolve the units to be as good as possible. When you evolve a pustule to a destroyer using this operation, it doesn't take any infection points, and those infection points can go to getting more plague lords. I think that's a pretty valid strategy that some people use, right?
To be honest, I don't go into that spell because it is very, very expensive and it is a branch of the tech tree.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, if it was a bit, if it was not so far in the tech tree, maybe if it
Yeah.
would move to militarized strains and if it costed 6 operation points and 90, no, not 90, 60 energy, maybe I would use this strategy often. But mm, to be honest, even when you play full auto battles, this 80 points is a lot of points.
Yeah.
And this 8 strategic. Mm,
I think this game I went for a lot of strategic points because I liked using that as well as other operations. I thought that that was a nice way to play Xenoplague. It worked out okay. I got some other things along the way, like the doctrines, which I think we agree on which doctrines are super useful.
Guy and stewardship, yes, you just showed us in Society 3 the Guy and stewardship doctrine. I'd say that it is the main reason why we play Amazon Xenoplague.
Yeah, because all the Xenoplague units are animals.
They are animals. They have for free this unbelievable boost, which makes them very, 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 very strong.
Right, the
Right.
Amazons give them a boost to shields and something else, don't they? Health? Just
No,
like by being
no.
Amazons?
They are the boost for shields. The Amazon boost is only given to the non-Amazon, non-Xenoplay
Oh,
animals.
oh, I forgot that. That's a good detail to get out there because I think there are
Right.
different animal mechanics that work, but it
Right.
sounds like not that one. I can't find my
Otherwise, there
stacks.
would not be any reason to pick any race except Amazon.
I
By the
mean,
way, as we can see on the third turn, really, if you went much more to the west from the beginning of the game, you could have much better tempo with evolution, stating that the guys here, the dwelling here is limb growth mother node. They are all biological. They give us absolutely unbelievable amount of play points, and
mm-hmm.
we could, we could maybe have a little bit more stacks of Xenoplay on this level. But once again, as we can see, the territory around is not full of good objects. There, here we can see that a lot of paths would be gone with no fights, and of course, with no fights, our tempo is not once again about to grow very fast.
I think I went east because I saw biologicals over here. I sent some scouts out
Mm.
for the first few turns, and then around turn 6, I started heading over this way to try and take out some biologicals to get more pustules. And yeah, there just wasn't as much over here until I got to the dwelling. There may have been a couple like,
By the way, speaking of common things,
hmm,
on the turn 30 you have a very little scouting.
yeah,
Right. When we play against people, we try to scout as much as possible. Sometimes, personally, I have uh, 4 or 5 scouts on the turn 30. I collect a lot of piles from the terrain, a lot of weapons, some uh, drops give you units with which also boosts your tempo pretty much.
yeah, that's true.
That's why for people that want to hear about something about general gameplay, I would recommend that.
I like to steal maps in general because I found that scouts they kind of like reveal what you can see to the enemy. Whereas if you just steal somebody's maps, you can find where their capital is and just beeline right to it without much warning.
Right, the steel maps is a cool thing, but there are some counterparts to it. The first counterpart is that it is um, hidden operation, covert operation, which can be revealed, which can give enemy casus belli. Also, when you see some piles, you can take them when you don't have scouts.
Mm-hmm.
As for Xenoplague, you are not about to create a lot of units in your capital, so it will be idle for some time, and it is not also a bad idea to use this idle time to create units.
Yeah.
Uh, can you please show how many towns do you have? How many cities? How many colonies?
There's an easy way to do that here, right? Here, this button shows off
Yes,
all of the
this
cities.
one.
So this was right after I went to war with another player and got all of my plague lords evolved up using their colony militias. The nice thing about fighting certain people is that their militias are going to have either mostly organic or all organic units. I think Amazon, if you were fighting another Amazon player, all of their units are biological, right?
Right, absolutely. As we can see, you have a lot of cities, and even if you did not fight with other persons, it is possible to build maybe not 11, maybe 9 cities, and it is always a good idea for an player to place as many cities as possible. When
Yeah.
you clear something with your Amazon units and you have many clearance stacks which clear different parts of map, you place a town there because the cities, the colonies are your source of energy. Uh, when you just start playing, you want to gain as much science as possible. But the science can be gained by uh, spending production and making science from it. Uh, on the in the beginning of the game, you do not tend to have a lot of sectors with science exploitations. And the payloads that you are going to rush on the beginning of every game are not very expensive in science. You try to just rush them, having everything you have, making science out of production, taking scientific exploitations, taking scientific think just a little problem with English language.
No, I get
Let,
it. Anomalies
let,
help. Is I don't know if that's what you were thinking about, but anomalies are great for getting a boatload of research.
yes. Anomalies. Try to get a level 5 hero as fast as possible. Study the 2 upgrades for anomalies and go research for getting go explore the anomalies for getting a really high research boost.
Mm-hmm.
Will also help you take the loads as fast as possible. Okay, maybe it's around. Let's go for my guide,
Mm-hmm.
maybe, and
Yeah.
then we'll
Let
maybe.
me pull that up. I gotta do this button. I think
I
brings up
think
Discord.
I
Hey,
think
Discord.
I, I I think it's not a very bad idea to continue showing something here while I'm trying to tell what I wrote once. Okay.
I've read through it. I know what it's saying. A lot of this early stuff is pretty similar to what we've been talking about how it's really good about is really good at getting units and snowballing, and you'll need things like energy income to support your units, right?
Right. The first resource you want to have on the start is always the research. And once you have 3, 4, 5 stacks of Xenoplague units, of course, energy becomes the thing that you want to have a lot of. Okay,
You
so
said that when the game starts, you usually take the first quest. Is there something before that you wanted to talk about? Sorry if I cut you off there.
uh, for the quests, I can say this: when the game starts and I play it, I usually take the first quests on the first turn and see where it wants me to go. If it wants me to go on some place which make me waste my time, I just go for the first landmark near my capital and take it. Uh, does not matter uh, what are my enemies, I just go for it and take it.
Mm-hmm.
If I can do it without a quest, without losing my time, I do it after a quest.
It makes
After a
sense.
quest. If I don't, I don't have a chance to do that, this I don't do that. These first landmarks give you a very high tempo boost, and they give the resources. When playing Cineplay, of course, we want to have the scientific landmark first, but uh, it doesn't really care. Any landmark will fit.
Yeah. I kind of regret not attacking the Forgotten because they had a research landmark next to my capital. But I think at one point I was thinking it might be nice to have some melee desolates that can apply infection and then resurrect after they get killed. Like it's not terrible. There's a strategy there. Um, but no, I think that I could have played more optimally if I just waged war on them.
No, also not a bad idea mentioning that you can just increase your army numbers in many directions by doing this. But of course, as for me, I would just prefer to take this landmark. And if I'm going to take my time and be in peace with the Forgotten, I just find a moment when I have resources to pay them. I make peace with them and then do their quests without needing when I'm not in the need of taking their land.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Okay.
it's a fun stuff. I have one question about this energy cache you recommended. You said that you like having Star Union Scholar, energy cache, APC, and Decadent slash party animal. You did seem to indicate that instead of APC, you like the thing I have on my main person, the pestilence. That's what
Uh,
you were talking about, right?
uh, I'd say I'll always take APC, and if I'm going to fight auto battles, I just buy Pestilence. It is available from the first turn of the game. I will have my extra HP for taking APC. I will have an opportunity to instantly take a mount when I have the mod that applies Cineplay on melee attacks.
Right.
This all are things with which, because of which I prefer to take APC and use it. Also, I would like to point out that again, Q's also are melee, destroyers are half melee, and the melee units in Age of Wonders Planetfall are easily focused by enemies. And yeah, they tend to lose a pretty much amount of health points just on the other turn after the initial engagement. Uh, and APC deals with the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it just heals them 30 HP and they are okay. Uh, you can go with Pestilence for first 3, 4. 5 fights until you get 3-4 pistols.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you get 3-4 pistols, you are not in such a terrific need of a lot of a melee hero, of a lot of other melee units, because when they're a lot, they do not tend to die very hard, and they are in a strong need of some healing support.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's part of why I love Plague Pods is that you get healing on all of your units, and it's also an AOE stagger. It's so good. It's amazing. I always get Plague Pods. I try to put them on as many units as possible before I go out and kill any stacks, any biological stacks. In fact, in the first 5 turns, if I see something that's mechanical, I consider running over there and killing it because like I want to have some tempo. I want to do get some gain, some experience on my units, but I want to make sure I get as many infections as I possibly can too.
To be honest, I would not say that play ports in when you go full manual are not such a good thing. That's they are really very good when you are going when you auto some battles because it helps your melee to not go in the suicidal engagements
Mm-hmm.
because they prefer to to throw a grenade. Also, they try to target at least 2 targets with playpods. As for full manual battles, I'd say that playpods are not the thing that do much because, again, if I have my APC heals. I usually have really a lot of melee units that just make enemies stay on place and I mean playpots in this case are just a bit of overkill.
Yeah.
And they cost might that I can spend later for equipping my loads for which I pretty much need a lot on in the beginning of the game because I'm going to city spam
Mm-hmm.
every time I'm going for Xenoplague. So I'm not the person that tries to uh, use this mod that tries to use the melee mod unless I really have a really good amount of cosmite income and can let myself do this. And unless I'm going to early clear some high tier objects.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, if I'm going to go for early clearance of high tier objects like golden landmarks, silver landmarks, I'm going there on level on a turn like 7. Of course, I'm going to take any 3 fast mods just to make my units as beefy as I can and as strong as I can so that they can compare with the tier 3, tier 4 units I'm going to suffer from.
Right. Yeah, I can be a little overly cautious. So when it comes to energy cache, is that to help you rush out cities, or is it just to give you more energy until you need to like build your own energy sectors or, find a new income?
Energy cache is a thing that, first of all, lets you not care about where to find energy to city spam. Uh, you sh- I prefer to build at least 4 to have at least 4 colonies before turn 10.
Yeah, I was able to get that, I think, in this one. I just loaded up the turn 11 and I got 1, 2, 3. I just gained my fourth one on turn 11.
And the only reason I sometimes don't have so many colonies is the reason is that I don't have good cleared objects. I don't tend to build my colonies in desert, in nothing, in the places where there is no cosmite, where there are no good landmarks, no good sectors for exploitation. That's why. And also, I tend to, if I'm going to really early clear some late objects, I can spend a lot of cosmite on it. It does not always pay off, but uh, when I do, sometimes I don't have. I have some slow in city spamming, but usually you get some good weapons, good mods from there, which let your main stack, main party be much stronger.
It
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was just gonna say it looks like one of your tips is to, get your second stack as soon as possible to continue devouring everything. I think I was able to do that by turn 11. That seems pretty reasonable, right? Being able to get your second stack by turn 11.
Second stack turn 11 is really good. For Xenoplay, it's not a big deal to have that, but for yeah, if you get a second stack on turn 11 when you are going full production without any summon, without any evolving, and so on, you are on the you do a very good uh, strategical move. You do a very good thing, which lets you expand very fast.
Yeah.
Uh, Take the map, take the places to build further cities. That's why I would strongly recommend people to, uh, first of all, of course, you need to train to lose as to not lose units.
Mm-hmm.
uh, you should try to find some ways to make fast second stacks, and uh,
Mm-hmm. I was
this
just thinking if you have like 4 units, that can be a start of your second stack. You can send it out at that point because when you get more infections, you're going to be spawning in more units. So that's okay. You can actually send it out before you have a full 6 units. I think I could actually group up 6 units on turn 11, but I may have got too many units at this point. Who knows? I'd play a little funny and do things unconventionally. So
it
that's
would it would always be a good idea.
That was the last numbered tip that you have. You have some other tips underneath the images that you have here. We've already talked a little bit about the tech trees and why you went down what you did. It looks like for your military research, you just went for plague lords right away, and then afterwards you were saying you could get plague pods. I might get plague pods a little bit beforehand. I mean, obviously I have them right now. Um, I have them before I've got destroyers. That's not the way you would go about it, I think.
Yes, that's not the way I would go for. I would rush destroyers as fast as possible because the more destroyers we have right now, the faster they will start evolving into payloads.
Yeah.
These destroyers are not a super strong tier 2 unit, and I would only look at them as further at a future payload. By the way, if you don't have many directions to move, if you have maybe one clearing party that consists of maybe 8 units or 9 units, you are about to when you don't have a payload researched, you are going to evolve as many pistols into destroyers as possible and avoid getting too much experience on the destroyers. The experience during the evolvement does not go from the unit you have before to the unit that is evolved.
That's a
That
really interesting point that I've never heard anybody talk about. I love that. That's a great tip. Thank you. Yeah, you don't want to waste that experience on your pustules, definitely. Because they're not going to be pustules for very long. There's going to be one way or another that they're going to either evolve or die.
and also you try to not waste that experience on destroyers. You better level up your heroes as fast as possible. That's why when you are good at fighting with Xenoplague units, you try to take as not many units into battle, and try to take only the units that you want to evolve as fast as possible.
Nice. I love that tip.
Also, if you happened to get like Elite Pistol or Elite Destroyer, you better don't fight with it at all before when you have another pistols, another destroyers that you can evolve.
Mm-hmm.
These elite pistols, elite destroyers can be very useful in PvP battles when
Mm-hmm.
you engage players in last fights and so on, because lords are slower. They are worse in melee aggressive engagement, and these units can bring a lot of mischief. These elite units will be a good support for your main force if you have other pistols and other loads to evolve.
Yeah, I just saw it. They get evasive at prime rank, which is such a nice prime rank. I love that one. It's very powerful. I wish all of them were that good.
Right. And also, a tip for all Xenoplay players that do not play the game a lot of time. Guys, remember, your pistols are only ground melee. If you have
Do not fight fly.
only ground melee in your stack and engage any flyer, it wins the fight.
Yeah, it's
All
really
the time.
sad. I've definitely done that. It's happened to me once. I did that with Desolate actually. I was like, this fight's gonna go great. Nope. They all died.
You know, guys, once I had a situation when um, a guy against me was playing Dwa Cineplay, and it gave a great hammer to the hero and the grenade.
Hmm.
And the hero with the great hammer and a grenade led a stack of pistols and psychos.
Nice.
I engaged it with a single scout and of course won.
That's amazing. I like that a lot. That's a good story. I am
Right.
looking at your second image in your guide here, and I think we don't need to talk about it too much, because we already talked about the doctrines that are really, really good. But I noticed that you did go for some things in the center. I think those are things that people generally just go for. Like the colony infrastructure is a pretty important thing to get, right?
Let me.
That's
Right.
the Cosmite building. You can get more Cosmite.
Colony infrastructure. Guys, I made preparations. I can just a little. Uh, if we are going to the guide I wrote once, and start to avoid the intersections, they're repeating. I can just state some things.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just please. I'll go one by one and come also to colony infrastructure. Uh, Guys, when you are going to play Cineplay, the first thing when you want to play it good is taking the Amazon. The second thing is Star Union Scholar. The Star Union Scholar is the reason, is the thing that lets you take your lords researched as fast as possible. The Star Union Scholar here is our choice. Energy Cache lets you uh, city spam. APC, we spoke about it, and there are two perks that are not very bad. The negative perks to take so many positive perks. We can take either Decadent or Party Animal.
Decadent's good because of the melee, right? You can get more health for getting up close and hurting enemies.
I'd say that Decadent, when you are playing full auto battles, is better because, right, your hero gets extra health points. The problem with the uh, for Amazon is not that much of a big deal. You have extra food for killing animals. You have food doctrines. You have sources of extra food.
Mm-hmm.
As for party animal, that's also not a bad idea because we don't need production in this build that much. We take units, so to say, for free.
Yeah,
Uh,
I hadn't thought
for
about
doing
that. Yeah, I
for,
like that.
for doing for doing nothing, so we are not going to produce a lot of units in our cities.
Mm-hmm.
Without producing units, the buildings they are not, they won't make us spend much more resources. That's not pretty much of a debuff that party animal gives.
Right.
Okay, when the game starts, okay, well, about the quests I already told.
Mm-hmm.
About manual and fights, we also spoke a bit. You should infect as many enemies as possible. Do everything. Use operations. Attack with use tools. Use sleep on your biomancer.
Ooh, good
Use
point.
everything you have to infect as many enemy guys as possible before they die, and make sure they don't dispel the infection.
Oh yeah, they can do that, huh? I think yeah,
Uh,
you want to save it for right before you kill a unit. Scan is amazing if you're facing a lot of units that are biological or a lot of the same type of unit that are biological. You can scan one of them. It makes it easier for you to get the rest.
right, scan is absolutely it's a very, very, very good ability for this case, and that's the reason why some people just take 2 or 3 biomancers with them, just to make sure they will apply all the status effects and make enemies suffer. Okay, as soon as you get enough guys, enough forces to make the second stack, and especially as soon as you have got the second hero, the best idea here is to split your forces and try to find a different way for each party. Your forces will grow while going. That's why their paths are better not to be crossed anywhere except enemy domain.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I was wondering if we
Also,
could talk about the second image that you put in there quickly, and then show off what you had on turn 30, because I think a lot of this stuff we've talked about a little bit, right?
right, as for the turn. Right, that was turn 31, if I'm not mistaken. And on the image I put there, I have 1 2 3 8.
So many plague lords.
19 play loads, right? On turn 31. Hello. Um,
Very well played.
uh, guys, no, that was the Xenoplague before nerf. That's why I strongly recommend you to play on Dread's mod.
He's changed it on the balancing mod. It's pretty cool what he's been doing on the side because it feels like the devs working on the game. Like he's putting a lot of time and effort into getting people's feedback and trying to make as many people as happy as possible.
Right, and right again. Okay.
I have 11 plague lords, and I think this was on vanilla Planetfall right after Oathbound came out, probably after they did an update.
Again, 11 play lots on which on the
30.
30th turn, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right on the dot. Right on 30. It's okay.
And once again, that we should always remember that 11 T3 units is on 1130 is only possible for Xenoplay, for Heritor, for Vanilla Heritor. Once again, thanks very much to Dread Reaper that we nerfed Heritor with their unbelievable amount of T3 units. With the drained guys, gained by the drained guys. And also,
right.
the third thing is abusing secret tags with the cyber craze. With the cyber guys, which is called assembly. Personally, in one game, not a long time ago, I started building Malictus at turn 18.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, it takes a while to get through it, but if you got enough resources, you can always consider rush building a unit like that.
Right, and especially for the cyber guys that have a very good scientific income, they really do like to go into secret tech builds. Okay, I have some images ready for speaking how I usually put my points into when I'm making my Cineplay build work. The first I also always take is Alpha Strain Inception. I think that that should not be questioned why I do that. Then Destroy Mutation, and then Play Load Mutation, and only after the Play Load Mutation I tend to go to Dispersion. It's not. Sometimes you have to take Dispersion, maybe when you have some melee units, when you are going to play Cyborg race. You are going for Dispersion because your tier 1 unit is melee, and they apply the infection instead of pistols until you have a lot of them. The same you can go when you're playing Kirko. So Dispersion is not a bad idea to take before Destroy Mutation in these cases. As for the weapons, as for the weaponry, the second part of my build is going into the biochemical tech tree. I go for biochemical applications, volatile afflictions, and specialized strains. The other ones going further is fully optional. These three technologies are pretty a lot and pretty enough to put on Xeno Lords and make them do very, very, very serious damage, like sniper attacks for 35 to 40 damage, 3 short attacks for about 18 to 20 damage, and that's pretty much enough. Also, protective grounding and primal control are not a bad idea, and they are always to be taken, because the primal control is for detection mode, which is always needed when you play against real people, for detecting scouts, for detecting the radars they place on the terrain that scan the territory, and also if you have serious problems in going into full Xenoplague, you can use their operation that makes enemy wildlife fight for you. The one that is in
Primal override? Is that what you mean?
yes, primal override. This is always a good strategy, even if you feel like your Cineplay build will suck at this game, and you will do nothing here with trying to go into playloads, because maybe you are surrounded by sci-fish and autonome, and you see that won't evolve enough. Guys, you can go into primal control, and also you can go into the units, the racial units. As for the racial units, I usually tend to take Harriers just to get the fly mounts for my heroes if they don't have one yet. The fly mounts are especially cool since they are affected by the doctrine, the doctrine which is advanced wildlife militarization. So you will have fast flying heroes that gain experience very fast.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah, extra XP gain on a hero sounds really nice. That's another thought that I hadn't occurred to me. But yeah, I don't play Amazon too often, and when I do, I actually don't use Harriers. I guess I saw them kind of fall short in an MP game and just decided if I'm going to play Amazon, I'm going to go for Huntresses or, I don't know, Biomancers or something like that. Maybe just Secret Tech or NPC units, because I am a fan of NPC units. I think they're pretty fun. It's random, and it's nice to have to think on your feet and adjust a little bit.
I'd say the doctrine advanced wildlife militarization make your animals and mounted units a very strong choice in any case. Sometimes when playing Cineplay, after researching Gaian stewardship, I started building mounted units. Just to maybe defend my empire and so on. There is a player, Pobez, Rockham, his second name. He always makes a lot of runners, and he tries to snipe your armies.
Yeah.
When playing a tournament game against him, I went city spam. I made a lot of clearing stacks, but they tried to be not very far from each other. I made thousands of scouts with detection, which scouted every single corner of every single tree around me. And I made the patrols around my base of mounted patrols that also made some pistols for me, made some Xenoplague. which were always ready to go into a relay and appear somewhere else. And these mounted guys really did very well,
Mm-hmm.
led by mounted hero. That's why I really think that as soon as you have the guy on stewardship, you should try to get as many mounted guys and as many animals as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now to
I don't think we actually went into detail as to why you really like ecological warfare, and that's because the poison makes it easier to infect units, right?
ecological warfare is not the poison is superb, I'd say. The poison is extra damage, is extra minus morale, which stacks with the parasitic infection, and it also makes it a bit easier to apply the infection. I'd say that this doctrine is super needed, and you should uh, research the doctrine and apply it on the second or the third um, turn of the game, if possible.
Yeah, I
Uh,
agree with that. And then we also didn't talk about why biomatter preparation is awesome. It reduces the points needed to evolve by 30%. So instead of 10 points, you would need 7. Is that right? I
Great.
think evolving and spawning both require the same amount of points. So I think that's how it works. It takes you from 10 to 7, or at least that's when it can start taking a dice roll to see if um, you get a unit or evolution. It's
By
kind
the
of
way,
random.
if I'm not mistaken, it even stacks when you have a lot of hero in your army, a lot of heroes in your army,
Oh,
and
really?
yes, and I'm not sure it makes 7 out of 10. It's much more about something like increasing tempo of points gain, when instead of 1 point you get 1 and 3.
Oh, I
Uh,
see.
it, it is just a bit slower, but the difference is seen. When you have many heroes in a stack, you can see that they evolve very fast.
That's
Uh,
another
but
thing I didn't know. That's awesome.
but once again, you want your heroes to be first of all stack leaders. You will have a lot of stacks, and you are not going to have a hero stack just to make as much use as possible of this doctrine. You better expand, you better play extensively, and make your heroes leaders.
hmm I'm
Uh,
thinking that it might be a good time to start talking about my recommendations. Or is there anything else you wanted to add before we move on?
I want to state a little about the society tech tree.
Yeah, let's do
Uh,
that.
uh, as for society tech tree, I would add that uh, personally I would always start with Verdant Awakening for the battle doctrine we were speaking about, then frontier facilities, then one of the developments depending on what we have around. Go for colony infrastructure because we really need that cosmite, and go into a social accelerated force deployment, taking orbital relay deployment. This makes us very fast moving, very flexible. Our economy grows. We have everything we need, most of all. Also, we want to get Gaian stewardship as fast as possible. That's why we take operation effectiveness
Mm-hmm.
and covert infiltration to defend from enemies, to fabricate casus belli. We uh, always need this. As for priorities, I would say that Gaian stewardship is our first priority because we want to uh, get fast leveled heroes. We want to get fast leveled play lords, elite play lords as fast as possible. Um, Also, when playing Xenoplague, it is a good idea, considering that we don't need to build units in our cities, is going into covert operations stack tree, use espionage, use other operations before the initial engagement or while engaging our enemies. And so the main tip here, I would say that we should make use of our tempo. Our tempo is not endless. If we get really a good amount of meat, we should use it. We should make good to make all our armies come into one point and destroy our enemy or enemies as fast as possible. After turn 40, all of our abuses of our army, of all of everything, can be can be useless
Yeah.
because your enemy will have its peak power. It will create the units, the combination of units that will be made specifically for destroying you, for destroying your faction, for destroying your units. It will do everything. And if we are so far and we let our enemy do so much, then that it's pretty much we lost all our minerals, lost all of our tempo. It should not be. We should play aggressively. We should we should find good clearing routes and engage enemies as fast as possible.
Yeah, that all makes a lot of sense. I liked all the tips you had, especially like the advanced force deployment or accelerated force deployment for moving your units around to get them in the same place so that they can overrun the enemy. It's kind of like just imagine zombie hordes running at a fort. Like you want to be everywhere because nobody else is going to be able to amass quite as many units, or you want to focus your guys in on a place because if you have all those units in one place, nobody else is going to be able to match the sheer number of units. Except for, I guess, maybe somebody who's been very lucky and can buy an insane amount of NPC units. I have had maps where it's like the game just is giving me influence. It's nice. So I think we can move on to my recommendations. A lot of them actually echo a lot of the things that we have already talked about, but I'd love to get your thoughts on anything that I say here. If you feel like anything I say is wrong or you agree, I'd just love to hear what you're thinking, okay?
Right, true, of course.
So I said, I like starting off with the Xeno play close quarter equipment. We've already talked about that. We already talked about the Star Union Scholar. I said that's a must. It's just great for you to get to your later game tips or your later game tricks. We've talked about doctrines. I put the three that you mentioned, months ago before we even talked. I put all this down, and it's great to see that that is lining up with what you were saying. I said I like the hero skill animal discipline as it gives bonus to animal units in a hero stack. That's led by somebody with that thing. I also said I kind of like parasitic infection. It was one of those things I didn't like at first, but the stun is pretty good along with the extra ability to apply an infection. How do you feel about those two hero skills?
They must have. Just say that they must have when you're playing Cineplay. You just can't do uh, any good when you don't pick them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the other things like spore feeding are nice too, but they don't add on top of that infection mechanic. They don't give you more abilities to spawn in units. So I think I'd go for things like Parasitic Spray and Animal Discipline before I'd go for things like Spore Feeding. Although I really do like Spore Feeding.
I'd say spore feeding is a good way when you don't have a lot of lots yet. And if you have an opportunity to take it when you don't have a lot of lots, you always take it because the extra healing is always not bad and is always needed. We are all about it.
I've seen some people do some really funny things in multiplayer with it. It's like, oh, this seems to be going one way. Oh wait, that unit can heal everybody. Never mind. I talked about saving organic stacks. I think I was saying that it would make sense to start trying to wipe them out around turn 7 after you've got your mods, but I think you were saying you'd want tempo because it's not like the experience is carrying over on your pustules anyways, which makes a lot of sense to me now.
I'd say root is everything. You should make root, and the root should be. You should never return to the place where you once was.
Yeah.
If you return to some place, then you're doing something wrong. Maybe your enemy makes you return. Maybe neutrals make you return. That should not happen. You better maybe avoid some a visit object or another place where the gods are too strong for you on this point.
Mm-hmm.
But you should go. You should go further. You should scout before going. Scouting is inevitable. Scouting is very, very, very important because, well, as for me, I just use my scout. It says, hey guy, in 4 sectors from you there is a golden object, and I like, oh, I'm going for golden object. and, all of my guys from the mere beginning of the game just go there. Of course, they try to creep as many people as possible. There can be a large root hook before I take the subject, but I take the subject.
Mm-hmm.
I put a colony there as fast as possible, and I drain it start draining from it as fast as possible, and that's all about tempo.
Right.
The Xenoplague is maybe it teaches us about tempo.
Mm-hmm.
It helps us understand. When we practice a lot of Xenoplague, we understand how we take the most tempo out of all the situations.
Mm-hmm.
And scouting here is very, very, very important. Sometimes I use pistols to scout. I use destroyers to scout. I use everything to scout.
What?
Because I
Destroyer
want
scouting?
to know.
No. That's hilarious. That's good stuff, though. I think the next thing I wanted to talk about was something that I noticed, and I am still pretty confused by. I noticed that if I took certain fights before other ones, sometimes a unit would evolve, and sometimes it would spawn in a new unit, even when I had something that could evolve. I don't know why that is because people were saying online that if it can evolve a unit, it will prioritize that. That's not true, is it?
I'd say that when I'm going to evolve as many units as possible, I have an army composition like 2 lords, a hero, a destroyer, and a pistol. In this case, there is a high chance that a destroyer will evolve into a high lord, or a pistol will evolve into a destroyer. If the army composition is like 2 lords, 2 destroyers, and a hero without a pistol, there is a pretty huge chance that instead of evolving anything, they will spawn a pistol.
Mm-hmm.
That is Yes, evolve is prioritized, but this all is partially randomed, and sometimes the units will continue evolve. But if you have the more evolve options you have, the more the chance that something will evolve into something.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I really would advise to make such army composition, not one destroyer, maybe a few destroyers. When you have enough lords, the lords can wait while the rest of army fights. And if you still have a few pistols, also take them to fights, and something will surely evolve.
Yeah, that all makes sense to me. There's a dice roll, I guess, once you get past a certain point, and the dice roll would be higher for evolving. Uh, so I think there's only a couple more things I wanted to say. I like using sleeper pheromones to give a whole stack infection. I don't think we really went over that, but you did say that you like using those operations, right?
Once again, please tell me which operation are you talking about?
Sleeper pheromones, the one that applies infection and does like 20% damage. It's one of the earlier ones, I think. Sleeper
I'd say
pheromones, yeah, militarized strains.
I'd say that sleeper pheromones
Or
is
xenomones.
yes, yeah, cinnamons is for the rare particular reasons. When you have an army that don't have ways to apply the infection, and you want to apply the infection on someone, uh, it's very rarely it happens.
Mm-hmm.
And the other reason to use the spell is, of course, before the engagement of enemy army, I mean a player's
Yeah,
army.
that's what I was
Uh,
thinking. It's good to put that malice on the enemies because it not only makes them turn into pustules after fight, but it lowers their morale, which is actually pretty important.
that makes enemy use the dispels to dispel the parasitic infection in the beginning of the fight, uh, to avoid getting the minuses it gives.
Yeah, totally. I'm looking at my notes and I think we actually covered everything. I'm really happy with this video. Thank you so much for joining me, Satnir.
Thank you very much. It was very interesting to participate in this. I pretty much want to excuse for my not very good English. I tried to be as good as in English as possible while being a Russian person in a Russian society. So, guys, I like you pretty much. I would really, really, really hope that the things we talk here about will be heard by someone, will be appreciated by someone. Thank you, Windslayer. Thank you, guys.
Hmm.
I like you and love you. Read me, watch me, maybe somewhere.
Yeah, I can put your stuff in the description. I'll try and let people know how they can find you and interact with you. And if anybody's got any questions, you can always just put that in the comments below. That kind of stuff does actually help the video get in front of more people, so it's dual purpose. I'd love to see some comments. I think honestly it was really clear. I think 99% of what you said I understood, and then I was able to fill in the gaps like pretty easily. So yeah, once again, thank you. I'll see you around.
Okay, thank you. Let's see another time.
Bye bye.
Have a nice day.
Woo!